Hello everyone, and welcome back to the review of the Ultra Aerialace. But where's the mouse pad? Well, if anything has been taught to show me, I perform really fucking well with this mouse pad, the Mustang, instead of the Ultra Aerialace, which is kind of really sad when I think about it. But I guess it is what it is. And we'll actually start off the review with the Ultra Aerialace. Let me just swap out the mouse pad so that, we can get this show on the road. And so this is the Ultra Aerialace. It's a mouse pad by Meow Gaming Gear, or Ultra Glide, a Chinese company that is known to produce mouse pads for other companies. They're, in a sense, an original equipment manufacturer. This is the Ultra Aerialace line. I mean, mousepad, not line. The Ultra line is, the line. I'm stupid. Anyway, you can kind of see this mousepad is very thick. It is very stiff, and it is I don't really know how else I would kind of describe this. It's not very plush. I can kind of fucking jam a lighter and it's not going anywhere. Right. And the stitching is pretty good for it, all things considered. It's not really below the surface, but it's also very thin, so I'm also very okay with this. And the surface is rough, but it's not actually Otsu levels of rough or the artisan type of rough. It feels nice to the skin, and I like the feedback that it gives, right? So then, how does it perform? How does it perform with a mouse that's I think 52 grams? And what is it? Has ultra glide speeds on it, which are not the X-ray pad Jade clones. Unfortunately, I got the wrong one, but this is okay too. I actually kind of like the speeds as well, honestly. But how has the Ultra Aerialace performed when I've been using it these past few months? Honestly, I'd say it's performed pretty well. Unfortunately, it's not the mouse pad for me, so I've kind of wasted my limited money here. But it's a mouse pad that's done really well for myself, and it could easily be recommended as a kind of budget choice if you're looking for something that I think is similar to a Hayate Otsu, right? So, for one, there's three categories for this stuff, right? Initial friction, dynamic friction, and stopping power. The initial friction, I like to think, is pretty good because it doesn't really require a whole lot for me to kind of start moving the mouse, as you can kind of see here. And even when I just kind of throw it, it doesn't take a lot of effort to kind of just throw the mouse across the table and get the desired outcome of starting the movement of the mouse. I don't really think there's anything wrong with the initial friction. The stopping power, mainly because I'm not using stock skates anymore, is actually still pretty good. There's a little bit of extra glide there. Again, it's mostly coming from the skates, but when I had the stock Lamzu skates, they kind of just stopped on a dime and it performed really well. The only reason why I don't have the stock Lamzu skates is because I wanted something faster. So, but we'll get to that. Also, excuse the stutter. I know I kind of stutter a lot sometimes. Even doing this, I don't feel like I'm fighting the mouse pad when I'm trying to stop. Granted, it's not a level of stopping power compared to a control mouse pad where kind of the entire point of it is to really stop on a dime and stop on a whim, but I find this is kind of a nice middle ground, like how it is with the Hayate Otsu. I can also give the Hayate Otsu comparison in a little bit here, but we'll kind of finish off the stuff about the Ultra Aerialace. And then we'll talk dynamic friction here. This isn't the fastest mousepad in the world, not by a long shot. I haven't used a lot of mousepads, but I can easily tell you that this mousepad isn't fast. But that's kind of not what I was going for when I wanted to buy this. I wanted something that was fast enough, had enough stopping power for me to do those micro adjustments, and I just kind of wanted to move away from the Mustang and get something that was like, kind of fit me more. I mostly got what I wanted, but in the end, I still prefer the P51 Mustang, which again is a frustrating experience for me. But again, what am I gonna do about it? And so I'll just kind of like as I like and like I can just kind of now explain my kind of experience using the Ultra Aerialace these past few months. It's kind of been like an adjustment period, I suppose you could say, because while initially I had been hitting great shots with the Ultra Aerialace, on the other hand, as I had been kind of like using it for a longer and longer and longer amount of time, it kind of felt like lackluster. Not to say that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that like it felt like it wasn't really fulfilling everything that I needed, which is, I know, an honest task, like a lot to ask. But when you buy mouse pads like this that have diminishing returns, you can kind of notice those what is it, minute differences that kind of like the small, that kind of are the devil in the details of your play, right? So while I got more stopping power out of the Ultra Aerialace initially, I didn't feel super locked in comparatively to the, what is it, to the P51. I felt like I had to kind of like deliberately make the movement instead of make the movement of stopping the mouse comparatively to the Mustang, where like it kind of just feels like a natural extension of like my hand doing the motion. The overall speed was just the overall dynamic friction was just slower, which is a given because even then the P51 is it's a pretty speedy mouse pad. I think the only thing I could really say was on par was the initial friction, which I didn't really notice anything. I think part of it for me, why it's so like underwhelming and kind of jarring, is just kind of cause I got like what I could call a bad batch of the Ultra Aerialace, where it's very firm, it's very thick. Like I was kind of more expecting something to be like under 4 millimeters and be kind of soft. Instead, I kind of got what's equivalent to like a mid hardness and everything like that. Granted, I love this pad for the fact that like it just doesn't stick to my desk because I just prefer that. But like I guess just in the long term, I just can't use it, right? Because I'd been trying to make it work, but then the moment I go back to the P51, I start performing really well, and it's just a really frustrating experience for me because I really think this is a great mouse pad, but I just perform better on a mouse pad that I kind of like have what is it, have complicated feelings with. Well, I mean, there's not much I can do about it. The P51 is clearly my best performer, and I'm kind of in it for the long haul here, so it is what it is, right? So then let's go talk about comparisons here. This is a Hayate O2 that hasn't been used for years, and also has been used for years. It is a very worn down mousepad, and I've tried my best to kind of wash it and scrub it of its wear, but I'm not a very good like person when it comes to washing my mouse pads. So the best you're gonna get is this scuffed recreation where, again, you can kind of see the O2 does end up being faster, and the what is it? Stopping power is better. Also, the initial friction is just way better. Like, it's literally effortless. Like, it just goes, it stops, and it's great. But the issue with the O2 here is that the durability problem is immensely like huge, where I can only use this thing for about like a month or two, and then I'm having to kind of deal with a worn-in mouse pad and having to wash it every month or two, and it's really frustrating to deal with. If I were to kind of somehow put my fucking keyboard away a little bit more. Again, you can kind of see it like this, and then you kind of see it with this, where the Ultra Aerialace definitely is slower, and the stopping power is less, but it's similar enough to me for what I had wanted to use it for, that I didn't mind it too much. Although this configuration I might try in the future, because this might help with with retaining the O2 speed. This might be something I try. Honestly, that's kind of funny. And then the last comparison, you'll kind of see with the P51, also when I move my keyboard out of the way, this thing is fast. It is very fast, has very little stopping power, but also the initial friction is a lot better. But when I actually use this mouse pad, I feel more control. Part of it is the speed, but mostly I think it's the better initial friction and the actual use of the stopping power. Because despite what this shows, I can stop on a fucking dime with this thing, and I'm not fighting the mouse pad, which again is very frustrating for me, because I don't want to like this mouse pad. I don't want to perform well with this mouse pad, but I am performing well with it. And it is something that greatly disturbs me. I don't know. This is a very frustrating review to make, because I wanted to sing the praises of the Ultra Aerialace, but instead what ended up happening is that I used the P51 once, and I ended up coming back to it. So let that be a lesson learned to you people, that despite your best efforts, a mousepad you might hate might still end up being the mousepad that you perform the best with. I hope this kind of video has been, insightful and onto like kind of like, not really a deep dive, but a more analytical take, a more emotional take on how I personally feel as a player myself using the Ultra Aerialace. I hope this helps you in your buying decision, and I hope that you learn from me and don't just kind of buy mouse pads on a whim because you want to move away from it. I'll leave my links in the description here. I don't normally do these, but I probably should. I'm also kind of like desperately in need of some sort of like a little bit of income, so I keep my bank account. But hey, I have a Ko-fi, I have a Twitter, I have a Twitch. Yeah. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Probably about the prototype Pulsar mousepad, if anything. Oh god. I was recording without the mic on. Oh. Okay. Alright, let's do the gag bit. One more time. Holy shit, I'm stupid, man. I'm so fucking stupid. I can't believe I was recording without the mic on. Man, what a fucking dumbass I am. Okay.